Can I just start by getting a bit of an injury update on your squad and how they're looking at the moment? There's talk of Alistair Johnston and how long he'll be out for, and Cameron Carter-Vickers as well.
Yeah, both those players. So Cameron's doing very, very well. He's out on the pitch. Obviously, the surgery that he had after the semi-final, he's doing really, really well. So he looks strong. So he's progressing and is well on schedule to be back. So that's good news. Alistair, yeah, he had an issue when he came back from sort of international duty and had a slight problem with his ankle. So he's had that operation on his ankle. He's a couple of little bits removed from there. Successful. He's out here with us, and like I say, it's probably a 6 to 8 week injury, but hopefully he'll be a bit sooner than that. But he'll progress really well, and better to have it done at this stage of the season than sometime in the season.
Had a bit of time to assess the squad up close now, certainly some of the squad anyway. How much transfer business would you envisage doing in this window?
Yeah, but we'll look to improve. I think it's the best time to improve when the team's done really well and been successful. That is, I always think it's the best time to improve, to increase the competition in the squad. And that competition is always good for the players. So yeah, we've got some more work to do, but I'm very confident we'll be able to do that.
Give us a sense of where you feel Celtic are at the moment in your second stint. Obviously, first time you took over was a lot more different, taking over from Ronnie Delia. The club was in a different shape. Rangers were in a much weaker position than they are now. So what's your assessment of where they're at and where the work is to be done?
Well, clearly the club, the team and the club's in a really good place. Like I'll go back to the first time I came in, and I'll give you got to give respect to Ronnie. Ronnie done an excellent job here in the couple of years he was here, won trophies, and then I come in, and my job was to continue with that good work. We then had a 3-year near on 3-year spell, which was very good. I've now come in 4 years later. I think the club is very stable off the pitch, really good structure, really good processes in place. The infrastructure around the club is excellent. And of course, the team is a young team, but a team that's got more development still left in it. So yeah, it was two different periods, of course, but I'm equally excited coming in now. And looking forward to the years ahead.
We're obviously very excited about Mikey Johnson and the progress that he's made in Portugal. Is part of your remit or part of your ambitions to get him more involved this year and make sure he's nailed down?
Not really. No, that's always Mikey's job. His job is to convince myself, the coaches, that he's ready for a place. Sadly for Mikey, he's going to be out for a few more months. He had an issue with his back, sadly. So he'll probably be out for, we would say, maybe near on 3 months. But it's the players' responsibility. They have to show the quality, they have to show the consistency, and they have to show that robustness in order to play. So, and that is the job of every player.
And then just finally, Europe is a big focus for you. Group stage action next year in the Champions League is obviously a big boost. But what do you think you need to do to ensure that you get far in the Champions League this year?
Well, listen, we have to be realistic. You know, it's really exciting, and it's obviously, you know, it's a competition that is the highest level that you can play in club football. I think what's important for us is to be really competitive against the top level teams. But it's also European football as a whole. Is to try and get as far as we possibly can in whichever competition we're in. Of course, when we arrive into the Champions League, we want, and our ambition is to qualify out to that group stage. That is a huge challenge. However, it's a challenge that we'll embrace. If not, then we want to try and ensure that we've got European football after Christmas and go as far as we possibly can.
How hard is it to lose a player of Jota's calibre, and are the funds from his sale being made available for you this summer?
Listen, Jota, he had a great spell here for the couple of years that he was here, and there's no doubt he was a huge success. I was looking forward to working with him, but listen, the kid's been given a life-changing offer. I think there's no doubt when he was here that he loved being here at the club. He enjoyed his life in Glasgow, and he knows that from a football perspective there's not too many better places to play his football. However, modern game for a lot of players, it's also a business for them. Their careers are short, and he's been given an opportunity to go and look after himself and his family. So we have to respect that. So he's gone, and of course we get some really talented players here, but we would like to do some business to improve that area of the team as well.
And after tying down deals for Maeda, Kyogo and Callum McGregor, are there any other deals on the horizon for players like Hitati, Cameron Carter-Vickers and others?
Nothing pending at the moment. I think those guys were up for renewals, and it was important that, people talk about players coming in. I think it's very important to look to keep your best players where you can, and I think the two guys signing along with Callum is a fantastic boost for the squad. Kyogo and Dyson have been outstanding players for the club. So to tie them down, it was great business by the club, and also for Callum to extend his time for another 5 years is it's absolutely brilliant news for the club. He's such a pivotal player now and the real heartbeat of the team, but also how he leads the team is superb. So I'm really happy that he's committed also, and like I say, if we can get some more strength in over the coming weeks, then it'll put us in a great place to take on all the challenges for the season.
Just want to speak to you a little bit about your return to Celtic, because you were hugely successful the first time around. So now that you're returning, what's the ambition? Where do you want to bring the club to ascend to a higher level on your return in this stint?
I think the ambition is to continue the success that the club has had, and of course we want to keep developing in Europe. So our bread and butter, I've said it before, is in Scotland and at home. That's what we have to, in order to achieve anything in Europe, we need to ensure that we dominate in Scotland, and then from that, it's the ambition, of course, is to go as far as we possibly can in Europe. A huge challenge with the teams and the investments of teams, but it doesn't stop us allowing us to dream, and that's the exciting part ahead.
There wasn't anything specifically that you felt you might have left undone that you'd really like to achieve on the return?
Well, listen, of course, it's domestically we achieved everything that we wanted to achieve. European football is always the challenge for a club like ourselves, but we want to have probably more success than that. I think I read somewhere about Celtic not having a knockout win for such a long time. But for me, it's, as I said, ensuring that domestically we continue with that success, and of course see what we can do in Europe, and that's a big ambition.
And just on the upcoming game against Wolves in the Aviva Stadium, there's obviously going to be huge excitement. The atmosphere is going to be electric. It's a good preseason game anyways, because it's a good challenge in terms of the level of the club you're playing. But what's the significance of that, bringing Celtic to Dublin?
Well, it's great. When I seen the Wolves game on the schedule, that it was going to be in Korea, I always felt that was a really good opponent for us. But obviously, sadly, for the Korean leg of our tour to be cancelled, we couldn't have asked for it to be in a better place. I think it's so important for a club like Celtic, you know, you travel the world. It's a worldwide institution, and in these pre-seasons now, where you're not having qualification games, I think it's great where you can take Celtic and the club that it is to other countries. But to take it to Ireland, of course, being Irish is really, really special. There's thousands of supporters every single week. You know, they make a huge sacrifice financially, time, everything, because Celtic is their life. And for lots of supporters, it ends up nearly being a 24-hour trip just to get across to Scotland to watch the games and back again. So to be able to reward those supporters and bring the team across to Ireland is really, really special, and I look forward to that. And Aviva's a brilliant stadium. Obviously, took been there before and took the team there, so looking forward to it.